Hi, I'm Matthew Dahlitz from the Science of Psychotherapy, and I'd like to share with you a bit of a conversation that I had with Richard Hill and Terry Marks-Tarlow on specialisation. One of the things that's constrained us in this modern age is the emphasis to be a specialist, and a specialist within a speciality even. And I think that limits then our scope, or especially when we're talking about our professional lives.
Right.
It's a dichotomy, isn't it? Because it's annoying individually, personally, to be a specialist, because then you're in this very small frame. But in the way we do things, we utilize specialists to become those elements that come together to create the broader system. To be if they're done as a part of complexity. Trouble is, we create specialists, but isolate them.
Exactly. We need specialists to really open up the science of a particular thing. You talked about carburetors before, Richard. To be a carburetor specialist, but within having your whole life wrapped up in that can exclude you from also writing an opera.
Right. I mean, one way of looking at being a specialist is to know more and more about less and less,
Yeah.
And really the difference between implicit and explicit also is a lot of that ideology comes from conscious explicit knowledge, where learning is hearing someone say something, some theory, and then absorbing it. But that is not what clinical practice actually is. Our contact with one another is completely moment to moment, body to body. It's an innovation. Even if we're using theory, we can't. Theory takes place outside of space and time, and we have contact inside of space and time, and inside of a really complex context that our bodies feel, and our unconscious, the unconscious / right brain / implicit processes learn out of context and express within context, which is why sometimes supervision can get so tricky when someone's listening to something out of context, and if they think they know what's going on there, when they may not really know the full picture at all. So it's really kind of breathtaking what the level of complexity that our unconscious minds and bodies process, and how what a contrast between how limited and limiting our conscious minds are. So yeah, a lot of the ideology and the politics surrounding our field come from these distorted, top-down ideas of simplicity that are so overly reductive and simplistic, and are almost a relationship to what healing and growth actually is when it happens in context.
Well, if you want to know more about the science of psychotherapy, come across to our website, thescienceofpsychotherapy.com, and our podcast of the same name, and learn more about the science of you.